This is Singapore, the fourth richest country in the world, whose infrastructure and technology are presented as model for the whole world. It's the financial center of Southeast Asia, and also the least corrupt country on earth. People in Singapore are known to be among the most educated, healthy, and productive in the world. But if we look back just a few decades to 1965, when Malaysia removed Singapore from its territory, about 80% of Singapore's population was living in extreme poverty. Almost 70% of the people were living in slums. Opium addiction was common, and unemployment was so bad that people were even willing to kill each other for a few coins. It looked like poverty, violence, and corruption would always be part of Singapore's future. So how did such a massive transformation happen? How did this tiny island become one of the richest and safest countries in the world? In this video, we will tell the story of how one man completely changed the destiny of his country. In the 19th century, there was a powerful company that had its own army and ruled over regions where 20% of the world's population lived. That company was the British East India Company. It traded across the world by sea and earned huge profits. This is the same East India Company that took control of the Indian subcontinent. At that time, one of its most profitable products was Chinese tea. To pay for this tea, the company sold large amounts of opium, grown in northern India. All of its trade went through a small waterway called the Strait of Malacca. This narrow passage became so important that it eventually brought in 50% of the company's total revenue. To protect this route, the company needed a port nearby. So, Sir Thomas Raffles built a port on a small island, the island we now know as Singapore. He made another smart move by declaring the port tax-free. Because of this and its perfect location, traders from all over the world started coming here. Thousands of ships passed through it, connecting China, India, and Europe. By 1867, the island officially became a British colony. As Singapore grew in importance, the lack of proper government control caused serious problems. The city became known for opium use, gambling, and prostitution. Then, during World War II, Japan attacked Singapore in 1941. By the time the war ended in 1945, the once thriving city was in ruins. The British didn't help much during this time, which created a lot of resentment among locals. That's when a man named Lee Kuan Yew stepped in. He was a lawyer who founded the People's Action Party in 1955 and won a few seats in the local elections. He quickly gained popularity and became Prime Minister of Malaya, because back then, Singapore and Malaysia were one country, but just 3 years later, Malaysia separated from Singapore due to ethnic and religious tensions, similar to the India-Pakistan split. After this split, Lee Kuan Yew was left to lead a struggling nation. Singapore had no proper identity, no jobs, no education, and poor housing. Lee made it his mission to turn things around, even if it meant making tough and unpopular decisions. He started by banning free speech to stop unrest. Anyone involved in protests, drugs, or violence was punished strictly. Even minor offences like littering chewing gum were taken seriously. While these rules seemed harsh, they brought quick results. Ethnic and political tensions started to ease. Lee believed that once people became prosperous, they wouldn't care about anything else. But the biggest problem was housing. Around 70% of people lived in slums. So Lee passed a law allowing the government to buy land at low prices and build affordable homes. To help citizens buy these homes, he introduced a rule: 25% of a person's salary would automatically go into savings, and the government would match that amount. This meant each person was saving 50% of their income, and within a few years they could afford to buy a home. Today, 80% of Singapore's population lives in these government-built homes. After fixing the housing problem, the next big challenge for Singapore was jobs. The country had no natural resources, and nearby countries didn't want to trade with it. Lee Kuan Yew realized that the only way to create jobs was to attract foreign companies, so he made it very easy for them to come. Taxes were reduced and most rules were removed. The government even announced that foreign companies wouldn't have to pay any tax for the first 10 years if they set up their business in Singapore. This bold move worked. Companies from all over the world started arriving, and many set up their headquarters in Singapore. In just 10 years, unemployment dropped to zero, and the economy was growing at a fast pace, up to 13% in some years. At the same time, Lee wanted to remove corruption from government offices. He introduced very strict anti-corruption laws. Anyone found guilty of corruption could be punished severely, even with the death penalty. Also, government salaries were increased by 10 times so that no one felt the need to take bribes. No country pays its government employees as much as Singapore does. Because of all this, Singapore became the least corrupt country in the world, and foreign investors started trusting it more and more. Lee also believed that the real strength of Singapore was its people, so he focused on education and training. He opened technical schools and paid international companies to come and train Singaporeans. This created one of the most skilled and hard-working workforces in the world. As more people got good jobs, they started saving more money. This money was then used by the government to build hospitals, schools, roads, and modern buildings. Today, Singapore's infrastructure is among the best in the world. Its schools are so good that students from Singapore often top global exams. From the 1980 1980s onwards, Singapore entered many industries, from oil refining to making medicine, advanced electronics, shipbuilding and chemicals. Today, Singapore is the world's third largest centre for petroleum trade. It's also one of the richest countries and has the second largest seaport in the world. It's also one of the easiest countries to do business in. People in Singapore enjoy some of the best healthcare, education and housing in the world. All of this happened because of the vision and honesty of one man, Lee Kuan Yew. His decisions may have seemed strict or strange to outsiders, but they worked perfectly for his country.